Welcome to the Boat Galley Podcast. I'm Carolyn Shearlock, here with tips, reviews, and how-tos for your cruising adventure. This episode of the Boat Galley Podcast is sponsored by Good Old Boat magazine. For 20 years, Good Old Boat has been the sailing magazine for those who maintain, upgrade, and enjoy their own sailboats. Go to goodoldboat.com to learn more. When you're ready to subscribe, enter coupon code PODCAST18 for an extra issue on your subscription. Good Old Boat, the sailing magazine for the rest of us. Slow down, slow down. Beware the experts. Don't believe anything you're told, especially by experts. Maybe I really should say, beware of blindly following what the experts say. Or maybe, don't let the experts do your thinking for you. Trust your own judgment. They all apply. There's a story behind this, and it involves oven mitts. When we first decided to head out cruising, I researched everything I could about what I needed for the galley, and I took the experts' comments to heart. I dutifully wrote down everything I had to have and made up a shopping list. I got some great and useful stuff. I also got oven mitts. They were good oven mitts, the type recommended by the experts. I'm sure they could have protected me from a couple of minor burns as I took stuff out of the oven. But they didn't. So you're asking, what can possibly go wrong with oven mitts? Simple. I have never used oven mitts in my life. I pretty much hate wearing gloves. I don't use rubber gloves, sailing gloves, or gardening gloves. I only reluctantly wear gloves in the winter when it's so cold I just have to. I dislike wearing gloves almost as much as I dislike wearing shoes. And so I never use those oven mitts. I much prefer a regular pot holder, and that's what I always reached for. And that's the point of what I'm saying here. You have to temper any recommendations you get with what you know about what you like and how you operate. People, like me, can tell you what's worked well for them, but that's all. There aren't any universal answers. If I had stopped to think for a minute, I would have realized that I was highly unlikely to use oven mitts. I would have saved my money. They weren't expensive, but it does add up. And I also would have saved the space. The oven mitts aren't the only thing that I ended up with because I failed to think for myself. There's also the double sink that experts said was far superior to a single bowl. But I couldn't put a plate in it on either side, on angle, on edge, because it was just too small. There's probably a few other things I'm forgetting too. Seeing what others have to say about a particular item is good. I've learned tons this way over the years, and many experts made me think about things I wouldn't have thought about otherwise. But I've learned not to just blindly follow suggestions without thinking if their reasons applied to me. The bottom line, don't just blindly accept what I or anyone else says. Your galley and everything else on board your boat has to be right for you. I'm not an expert on what you need or how you should do things. Really, you're the expert on yourself. You might even consider oven mitts to be one of the best things you have in the galley. Until next time, then. Thanks for listening. If you like the show, please be sure to subscribe in your podcast app. Just search for the Boat Galley Podcast. And reviews are always appreciated. Until next time, then. Slow